Hi, I'm Edie with Edie Coaching, and I help couples who are either married or in a committed relationship reconnect, reprioritize, restructure their daily habits so that they can get back that passion, that spark, that feeling of connectedness that they once had in the beginning of their relationship, so that they can take their current relationship, which might be at a place of ugh or boring, to a place of awesome. And even more importantly, I help them get to that level within their own relationships so that they can join me in revolutionizing the standard that's out there right now, the relationship standard that's out there right now, which is not a very good one. Have you ever felt in your relationship like you were bored, like it was the same thing day in and day out? There really is no connectedness, there really is no passion anymore. It's just, navigating the day. Or maybe you're even feeling more like roommates than an actual couple, passionate couple. Maybe you feel resentful of your partner. Maybe you're not even sure your partner likes you at all. Have you ever felt lonely in your relationship, like your partner doesn't even understand you or even know who you are? Or maybe you feel like your relationship is fine, that everything's fine, but you know that your spouse is unhappy, and you know they're really unhappy, and you just don't know why. Well, if you have felt any of those things in your relationship now, or even in your past relationships, well, me too. I can tell you that I have too. When I first started in this thing called relationships, nobody ever gave me a guide, a relationship 101 guide, and said, here you go, these are the rules, this is how you navigate this crazy relationship thing. And I'm sure nobody ever gave that to you either. And because of that, we're bound to make some pretty big mistakes. If you're like me, you made some pretty big mistakes in relationships, and you just kind of, bumbled your way through it, and it hurt. I mean, it wasn't fun at all. It wasn't fun for me, and I'm sure it wasn't fun for the other person as well. And before I met my husband, we've been married now for 13 years, but before we met, both of us had gone through enough relationships the hard way that we really came into the relationship prepared with some tools to help us start out really on some rock solid footing. But again, nobody taught us marriage 101. Nobody taught us the tools that I've now discovered that help you navigate a relationship effectively. So after about a year, I fell right back into my old habits. I fell back into my old way of thinking. I fell back into my own way of relating, which, as we already talked about, was going to set me up for failure. So it wasn't very long into our marriage that I really started feeling those things. I felt bored, disconnected. I felt like my husband didn't know me. I felt like he didn't like me sometimes. I felt like he wanted to control me and tell me what to do. And, we just really weren't on the same page. So I know where you are right now because I've been there. I have felt those things very strongly. In fact, there were moments in my marriage, in those earlier years of my marriage, where I wasn't sure we were going to make it. So luckily, right around that same time, I started my own business. And when I started that business, I was exposed to business training, and learning strategies to set myself up for a successful business. Little did I know that these strategies that I was learning for business apply directly to strategies for success in relationships. I didn't know that. So as I was implementing these strategies for my own personal business success, it was impacting my relationship on a level that I could not ignore. You see, there are specific strategies for success. And these are the strategies that helped me come up with a solution to my own relationship, and the same strategies that I use in working with couples to get them to the solution in their relationship, the solution being an awesome relationship, an awesome marriage. So let me share these strategies with you. I discovered that there's really 4 keys to success in anything. And those 4 keys to success really break down to mindset. There is just a different mindset that successful people have. It's a mindset they've chosen. And it's a mindset that they are intentional about and strategic with. The second one is habits. There are certain habits that successful people do. There are certain rituals that they create, daily rituals, daily habits, to create success in their business, to create success in their relationships. The third thing is crystal clear vision. In order to see success in your relationship, you have to know what you're going after. And there are just so many couples, like I was in the beginning, that don't even know what the vision is for their relationship. They don't have a vision. So they're really aiming towards nothing. And when you're aiming towards nothing, or you're vague about what it is that you want, those are the results that you're going to get. And then the fourth key is commitment. And commitment in terms of no matter what, this is going to work. Where there is commitment in a relationship, there's more success. Research has shown that. An attitude of I will make that work instead of I will try to make that work, there's more success. So that's the fourth key, is commitment, your level of commitment. Now, over the last 9 years, I have immersed myself in the study of relationships. And in the last 6 years, I have been fortunate enough in my business to have very intimate, personal conversations with women about love, about sex, about marriage, about their fears, about their raw truth. And I have taken that information and taken all their concerns and their desires and their wants and their confusion and really sought that information out. And what I really honed in on is what's working. And so I sifted through all of that and found the common denominators in successful relationships. And so let me share with you what I discovered. These happen to be the 5 core areas that couples focus on, couples who are experiencing happy, joyful, connected, passionate relationships in these 5 areas. The first one is priority. And I'm not just talking about verbal priority. Couples who are connected and feeling connected to each other, they make their partner a priority with action, not just words. So they're not only saying, my wife is the most important thing, my husband is the most important thing to me, but their actions are following up. The second one is their presence. Couples that are connected and passionate and totally into each other, they're very present when the other one is engaging them. And what I mean by presence is they're not typing on the computer when their partner is trying to have a conversation with them. Or if they are typing on the computer, they're saying, hang on, let me finish this email, and then I can look at you and hear what you're saying, so that they can fully engage with that person. They're going to give them just those few seconds at the end of the day of eye-to-eye contact, a hug, a kiss, say, you're important to me, and now I'm going to go do all these other things, mow the lawn, watch TV, fold the laundry, make dinner, all those other things. So they're very deliberate in their presence with their partner. The third thing is their passion. Now, there's a saying that there is no such thing as passionate couples. There's only such thing as passionate people, and that's true. So couples that have a successful relationship in terms of their overall happiness and joy and in with their partner is because they put passion in their relationship. They're passionate about each other, and they're passionate about things in their life. That has a lot to do with the mindset that we talked about earlier. The fourth thing is play. And I'm not talking again about sexual playfulness, although that's important as well. But they're playful in their disagreements. So it's not that they always get along, but their disagreements take on more of a playful tone instead of an angry, attacking, aggressive tone. It takes on more playfulness so that there's more lightheartedness in the disagreement, and they're able to get to a solution quicker and easier. So play is really important. And then the fifth core area of focus for couples who are fully connected, fully thriving in their relationship is probably the most important one. And this has a lot to do with mindset. And this core area of focus is personal responsibility. They take personal responsibility for the success of the relationship, meaning they have a sense of not needing their partner, but wanting their partner. And that's a pretty big shift for an individual to make when you're in a partnership, because you're bombarded with all these messages from television and movies and romance novels and songs. Almost all the songs out there talk about, you know, I can't live without you and I'm nothing without you. And we get caught up in that fun romanticizing of a relationship, and that's a really immature love. And if you stay in that immature level of love, you're setting yourself up for some pretty big problems. So that's a clear distinction in terms of success in relationships, is coming into this idea of personal responsibility. What am I doing towards the success of the relationship? What am I doing to allow things to happen to me? What am I not doing? And again, coming from the position of not needing your partner, but wanting your partner. And that creates some pretty cool passion, pretty cool connectedness, and on a healthy level, on a level that's going to sustain. So really, these are the solutions I've learned in order to navigate a relationship in a way that's going to set you up for awesomeness. And the old way of reconnecting, reviving a relationship, stuff that's been out there for a long time, and stuff in terms of communication and listening skills, that stuff just isn't working anymore. Relationships have changed. The dynamics of couples have changed. There's so much new technology out there that if we let it, can really interfere with our presence and our priority and our habits and our rituals and our mindset. And so the same old rules just don't apply anymore. Times have changed, and the ways of navigating relationships have got to change with that in order for you to see success. Some top mistakes that people make when they start to try to reconnect, reignite the passion in the relationship if it starts to go away. The first mistake people make is they complain about what it is that they don't want in the relationship. So maybe this is a lack of sex for you, and maybe you're complaining about not getting enough sex, whether that's to your partner or whether that's to other people when your partner is in earshot. It's one of the worst things that you can do. Never complain about what you're not getting in your relationship. Always come to your partner with your wants, not what it is that I'm not getting. A second mistake that people make is they go seek out advice from people who don't have what they want in terms of a relationship. You don't want to seek advice from friends or family members that have a relationship that's not like the one that you want. So if they're miserable or just fine in their relationship and you're wanting to take yours to the level of awesome, you're not going to want to seek out advice from those people. You're going to want to seek out advice from people who have what you want. And then you're going to do the things that they've done that works for them. And then one of the worst mistakes that people make when their relationship starts to, take a back seat is doing nothing at all. This is probably the biggest mistake that you could make. There are things that you can do that can shift your relationship right now. Steps that you can take that can shift your relationship right now. So take action. Start doing something. Don't sit there and wait for something to change all on its own, because it won't. You've got to go out and start making things happen in order to see the success that you're looking for. And you start with yourself. Hopefully this information wasn't too overwhelming for you. I do hear sometimes, well, that all sounds great, but where do I start? What do I start with first? Well, here's what you do first. The first thing you do is you start prioritizing your spouse. You start prioritizing your partner in terms of action, not words. One of the best ways you can do this is by opening your calendar, looking at your weekly events, finding how much time you're dedicating to work, how much time you're dedicating to a hobby, how much time you're dedicating to television, how much time you're dedicating to going out with the boys, going out with the girls, and then look at how much time you're dedicating to your spouse. And that's going to show you on paper where your priorities are. Your schedule can't lie. You can lie to yourself and tell yourself your spouse is a priority, but if you look on paper, it better match up. And if it doesn't, that's where you start making the adjustments right there. Start looking at the things you're doing and have them match the level of priority that you're telling yourself that your spouse is. And I would start with that first, and you're going to see some really cool results right away. So I really hope this information helped you today. I hope that you'll take it and implement it right away so that you can really start to, regain that fully connected feeling, that fully passionate feeling with your partner, so that you can stop living this roommate lifestyle with them and start really engaging with each other and fully loving each other. There's nothing more fun and more fulfilling than that. And then my hope is that more and more people are going to really plug into their relationships and bring it up to that level of awesome, so that the standard out there for relationships becomes awesome, instead of this standard of everything is just fine. So there you go. Thanks again for watching, and have a great night.